in 2015, foundation, and a bright future ahead. As Valentine's Day approached, Denise place to make it look like a robbery, and hiring a hitman. New life with Anna. Even more chilling, bright idea to go through all of that and in the world doing missionary work in Lithuania. They seem to have the perfect life. 3 children, a strong religious foundation, and a bright future ahead. Everything for a happily ever after story, yet that wasn't the case. Oh no, my friend. Wake up to reality and see that behind closed doors their marriage was crumbling. Nathan had allegedly become involved with Ina Dobalate, a young Lithuanian woman the couple had taken under their wing, but in Nathan's case, under his sheets. As Valentine's Day approached, Denise suspected Nathan was having an affair, and she confronted him about it. The tension in their home escalated. On February 14, 2013, Nathan staged a brutal crime. He carefully planned Denise's murder to look like a home invasion gone wrong. He shot her in the head with a .40 caliber Glock inside their Peoria, Illinois home, and then ransacked the place to make it look like a robbery. When police arrived, they immediately noticed something was off. There were no signs of forced entry. Despite the staged scene, nothing valuable had been stolen. Instead, they found searches on Nathan's laptop, including how to silence a .40 caliber Glock, how to kill someone and make it look like a burglary, and hiring a hitman. Rookie mistake. When committing something on that level, you never leave any clues behind. You erase your browsing history and of the sorts. But that's what happens when you rush a half-assed plan such as this. My question is, was it worth it? His Google history told detectives everything they needed to know. Prosecutors later revealed that Nathan killed Denise to start a new life with Anna. Even more chilling, Anna showed no visible remorse during the trial. Some even suspected she knew more about the murder than she let on. I, for one, agree with that. Nathan Leuthold was charged with first-degree murder and sentenced to 80 years in prison without the possibility of parole. And that shows that it's not worth cheating if you had the bright idea to go through all of that. And for what? A dirty cell with a roommate that you're going to have to call your Valentines. Now, ain't that a kick in the... bloody heart had been carved into her chest. A message, written in her own blood on the wall, read, "If I can't have you, no one can. Happy Valentine's Day." That's just dark, man. Love hurts, but we don't mean literally. It shouldn't have come down to this. Just let it go, man. Tommy had been hiding in her home the entire time. As soon as she left for her date, he waited for her return, then attacked her, stabbing her 37 times before carving the grotesque heart into her flesh. He fled the scene, but police caught him 3 days later in a neighboring state. Tommy showed no remorse. What a monster. When asked why he killed her, he simply responded, "Because she thought she could leave me." He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. I gotta say, my heart goes out to her family. What a way to go by a crazy ex. This is why you should never obsess yourself over another individual, for you might turn to something rash if you don't get your way. The Valentine's Day, vanishing a child together. On the night of February, she described him as a bearded, dirty-looking cord. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a gray 1991. Angela Hammond was a 20-year-old college student living in Clinton, Missouri. She was engaged to Rob Schaefer, a high school athlete with a promising future. The couple was madly in love and expecting a child together. On the night of February 14th, Angela and Rob went to a Valentine's Day event. Around 11 p.m., Angela decided to call Rob from a payphone near the center of town before heading home. That was the last time anyone ever saw her. While on the phone with Rob, she suddenly mentioned a suspicious man in a green Ford pickup truck parked near the payphone. She described him as a bearded, dirty-looking man who was scanning the area nervously. "He's looking at me funny," she said. "I think he's pretending to use the phone." Moments later, Angela screamed. Rob heard a loud struggle, then nothing. He raced to the location, arriving within 90 seconds. The only thing left behind was the discarded phone receiver, swinging from the cord. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a green Ford pickup speeding away with Angela inside, screaming for help. Despite an extensive search, Angela was never found. No body, no leads, no arrests. To this day, her disappearance remains unsolved. The Stalker who left a heart to go. On Valentine's Day, wrapped in plastic. At first, they thought it did Valentine's Day gift. Mark with an obsessive ex-boyfriend named Mark Henderson. He had been stalking her for months, showing up at her work, sending threatening messages, and making her life a living hell. Despite multiple restraining orders, he refused to let her go. On Valentine's Day, Jennifer arrived home from work to find a gift-wrapped box on her doorstep. The box was red with a black ribbon, and attached was a note that read, "Forever yours. Open immediately." Fearing it was from Mark, she called the police. They advised her to leave it alone. Officers arrived and cautiously opened the box. Inside, they found a small, bloody organ wrapped in plastic. At first, they thought it was a prank. It wasn't. After forensic testing, they confirmed it was a human heart. Jennifer was horrified, but it got worse. A search of Mark's apartment led to the discovery of a mutilated body in his bathtub. His current girlfriend, whom he had killed in a fit of rage. He had cut out her heart and sent it to Jennifer as a twisted Valentine's Day gift. Mark was arrested and sentenced to life without parole. Jennifer, traumatized beyond belief, later moved to another state under a new identity. The cryptic Valentine, the mentions had begun to rise. Lisa, she found a single red rose and a Harper residence. Something unusual. The house showed no signs were still in the ignition, and her as investigators delved into their personal. If so, why was there no evidence of her ever leaving? Whatever the truth may be, with that wild imagery in mind, next is present day true horror stories. Remember, folks, where she felt uneasy, that she had a creeping sense that something was amiss in her marriage. Then, on Valentine's Day 1995, the nightmare began. That morning, Lisa received an anonymous letter in the mail. The envelope was plain white, with no return address. Inside, she found a single red rose and a handwritten note that simply read, "Forever isn't as long as you think." The cryptic message sent shivers down her spine. She showed it to Terry, who dismissed it as a prank. But Lisa couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching them. That night, neighbors reported hearing loud arguing from the Harper residence, something unusual for the seemingly happy couple. Lisa's best friend later revealed that Lisa had called her in distress, saying that Terry was acting strangely and that she felt unsafe. That was the last anyone heard from her. The next morning, Terry was found dead in the couple's bedroom, his throat slit with precision. The house showed no signs of forced entry, and there was no evidence of a robbery. Strangely, investigators discovered a smeared handprint on the bathroom mirror, but the forensic analysis was inconclusive. Lisa was nowhere to be found. Her car was discovered 2 miles away, parked near a small, wooded area. The keys were still in the ignition, and her purse was left untouched on the passenger seat. There were no signs of struggle, no footprints leading away from the vehicle. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. Authorities launched a massive search, combing through the woods, nearby rivers and abandoned buildings, but Lisa was never found. As investigators delved into their personal lives, they uncovered something chilling. Lisa had been receiving anonymous letters for months, each with increasingly ominous messages. She had never told Terry, fearing that he would dismiss her concerns. Detectives explored every possible theory. Could Lisa have killed Terry and then disappeared? If so, why was there no evidence of her ever leaving the area? Was she kidnapped? If so, by whom? And what did the letters mean? Decades later, the case remains one of the most baffling unsolved mysteries. Some believe Lisa met a gruesome fate at the hands of a stalker, while others theorize she staged the entire event to escape a dark secret. Whatever the truth may be, the question remains: who sent those letters, and what really happened to Lisa Harper on that fateful Valentine's Day? Questions we may never know the answer to. These stories are a reminder to keep the heart wary, but open, for if you fall head over heels for the wrong person, your head will be under your heels. With that wild imagery in mind, thank you all for watching. This time I'm not asking for a subscription, but to show me love in the comments. Engagement is what I'm looking for. Critiques, anything that tells me how or what you guys want me to do next, or even just improve. Helps out way more than you'll truly ever know. Up next is President Day True Horror Stories, so you don't want to miss the next installment to this series. Rather, if you're out with your significant other or alone with a box of chocolates and wine, I wish you all a very happy Valentine's Day. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got a box of my own chocolates with my name on it. So, remember folks, we're always watching.